Welcome to this new series, Commanders. I'm creating these videos to give you a glimpse of what it's like to experience Elite Dangerous ships in Elite Dangerous through VR. If you've never tried the game in virtual reality, you're missing out on a whole new perspective. Literally, seeing these ships full scale from the cockpit and via the external camera suite really brings out their unique personalities. From the scrappy, well-worn feel of the Sidewinder, like your very first car, rough around the edges but full of charm, to the sleek, luxurious interiors of the Imperial ships. Each ship has been thoughtfully designed to reflect its role and status in the galaxy. In each video, I'll also share a bit of background on the ship and where it fits in the Elite Dangerous universe. So, strap in and let's take a closer look at these incredible vessels through the lens of VR. Let's start with the Sidewinder Mk I, the very first ship every new Elite Dangerous pilot gets. Built by Falcon de Lacy, it's a small multi-purpose ship that acts as your starter ride in the galaxy. In the game's lore, it's given to new pilots by a mysterious benefactor to see if they've got what it takes to make their mark on the galaxy. Now, while it's cheap and basic, don't underestimate it. The Sidewinder is extremely agile, one of the most manoeuvrable ships in the game, and it's great for beginners to learn the ropes. That said, it's slow, lightly armoured, and it's not great for trading or mining due to its tiny cargo hold. Think of it a lot like your first car, scruffy, maybe a bit battered, but it gets the job done and it teaches you a lot. The cockpit is compact with a single seat and it has two small hardpoints of basic weapons. It's also about the same length as an F-16 fighter jet in real life. And fun fact, even seasoned pilots could keep one around just for fun, and in the lore, big ships like the Anaconda can even carry a Sidewinder inside, although sadly it's not something we can do in the game quite yet. As I mentioned earlier, the Sidewinder's cockpit feels a lot like a beat-up first car, and that's exactly why it works so well as the starter ship. It's scruffy, worn, and full of character. Surfaces are scratched and grimy with exposed wiring, pipes, panels, and yes, even duct tape holding parts of the dashboard together. Despite the rough edges, it's packed with interesting little details. There's a hinged keyboard in front of you with function keys, a fun throwback to the BBC microcomputer that the original game launched on over 40 years ago. And if you look closely, it even has a de Lacy KS12 Micro printed on the side, complete with SD card and USB style slots. There are air vents like the ones you'd find in an old car, and down by your feet, a worn looking first aid kit tucked into place. Look to your right and you'll spot a luggage rack with a bag strapped down securely, plus a lower storage shelf holding a drinks bottle and a well-used Space Trader's flight manual, all tied down with bungee cords. It's these small lived-in touches that really sell the world. Now, you're not really supposed to get out of your seat, but in VR you can, and be warned, your headless body stays slumped in the pilot seat, which is both hilarious and mildly terrifying. Still, walking around gives you a chance to see more detail, like the seat handles, power ports, and the cockpit door at the rear. And standing up also breaks the immersion a little bit, as you can peek above the canopy and see the ship from the outside, but that's where you start to get a real sense of scale, how you the pilot fit inside the ship and how it fits inside the world around it. You can even spot the retracted hardpoints just below the cockpit, and a few structural features on the ship's exterior. As for the cockpit door, yes, you can walk through it in VR, and there's no hidden interior unfortunately, just a wireframe model of the ship and some utility mounts and engine parts. But again, it reinforces just how compact the Sidewinder really is. And one last trick before we wrap up. If you activate the external camera suite while docked, you can still view the ship and hangar environment in full VR. It's not just a fun way to imagine what the Odyssey on-foot gameplay could feel like in VR, it's also an opportunity to appreciate the level of detail that often gets missed in 2D. From the outside, the Sidewinder has some fantastic touches. The rear door nestled between the twin engine outlets, the recessed hardpoints just below the cockpit, and the top-mounted thrusters that give the ship its manoeuvrability. You can spot the emergency escape hatch, and underneath what looks like a service hatch leading into the interior. Even the weathering and grime on the landing struts tells a story. This is a ship that's been places, and in the hangar itself you'll notice ambient details, the lighting, the scale of the bay, the service scaffolding, all of which really come to life in VR. It's a different perspective, and one that adds a lot of experience of flying even the smallest ship in the game. That wraps up our VR tour of the Sidewinder. If you enjoyed this, check out my other videos where I explore more ships, like the iconic Cobra Mark III, Python Mark I and the rugged Asp Explorer. And I'm building up to newer ships such as the Cobra Mark V, the Mandalay and the Panther Clipper. Until next time, fly safe commanders, and I'll see you out there in the black.